before he was detained under NSA, they tried to create an image of him, defame him, do a character assassination of him by using the trollers of the IT cell of the government, by building narratives like he went to Pakistan, so he's ISI agent, you know, he's a Chinese agent. But the detention order says that he's talking about a referendum and plebiscite and Kashmir plebiscite, So nobody is even, so why are you putting words into his mouth? And then ever since I'm in Delhi and I went for the press conference, there's a car that is following me around everywhere. There is this police and IB who takes me in their van,
Vehicle.
with the screens, with screens on either side, because they say that we don't want you to meet media. So I'm taken in and they are always there. And even when I'm talking to Sonam, they are sitting next to me,
Acha.
and everything and whatever I am noting down while talking to Sonam, afterwards they're taking pictures of that.
Supreme Court has issued notices as far as Mr. Sonam Wangchuk's detention is concerned. I'm joined by his wife, Dr. Geetanjali Angmo. She's the founder and CEO of HAIL, HAIL. Thank you, ma'am, for speaking to the Indian Express. I believe you went and met Mr. Wangchuk in Jodhpur jail. First, that we would like to ask for our viewers, how is he doing in jail? Because now it's been more than 15 to 16 days.
Yeah, so he's very resilient and his spirit is, undaunted. But he was detained after 15 days of fast when he was having just water and salt. So he was anyway very weak. So he continues to look very weak. But he is a strong person and he will overcome this, and so will we.
He must have shared the grounds of detention with you. Can you share with us, what are the grounds of detention which the government has given to him?
Yes, he did share the grounds of detention, and we will share it with you at the appropriate time. But I can tell you right at the upfront that the grounds of detention are very frivolous and do not have been taken out of context. His words, the videos that they have quoted, his words and his examples have been taken out of context to build a narrative which he never intended. So, to give an example, for instance, there's a journalist who asks him that people of Kargil want to go to Kashmir, So, what do you think about it? Like, they do not wish to stay with Ladakh, So, what do you think about it? And he just says in less than 15 seconds that if everybody, wants to align with a particular state, then people should go where they are happy, And he utters a word that is why we have something called a referendum or a plebiscite, right? So it is clearly, if I tell you this, you will know that what his meaning is. The people of Kargil are free to align with either Ladakh or Kashmir. But the detention order says that he's talking about a referendum and plebiscite and Kashmir plebiscite, So nobody is even, so why are you putting words into his mouth? First of all, we are a free democratic country, and liberal arts is something that we've been studying even before liberal arts came to the West as an education. We had discussion and dialogue. And why are we so scared if somebody is just using a word referendum, we are scared. We are not even bothering to see in what context he's using it. He is just talking about the people of Kargil having the freedom to choose. So these are the kinds of things. They are just taking the words and creating a smoke screen around it and trying to build a narrative. And this was done very consciously for the last 1 year.
Yeah.
Because before he was detained under NSA, They tried to create an image of him, defame him, do a character assassination of him by using the trollers of the IT cell of the government, by building narratives like he went to Pakistan, so he's ISI agent, you know, he's a Chinese agent, and he gets foreign funding. Now, systematically, we have been able to debunk all of that. We have been able to establish that he went to Pakistan for a UN conference where he
Hmm.
praised Mr. Modi from the stage. We have been able to show that he is not a Chinese agent because he's the one who fought against Chinese goods by saying, bullet ka jawab wallet se. He's the one who's been building shelters for Indian army. Okay, so he cannot be an anti-national. And there was no foreign funding long ago, 15 years back, when we had a valid FCRA license, which the uh, government has just now revoked again for childish and ridiculous and malicious reasons, that it was for food sovereignty, and the order says that this had come for national sovereignty. They have removed a comma and put a capital S. So sovereignty means they are talking about Ladakh sovereignty is how they are trying to portray it. Whereas
Hmm.
it had come for just making of greenhouses and doing agriculture, which
Hmm.
everybody should be doing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they have tried to malign his image for the last 1 year. And a lot of people who do not have the patience to go through the fine print or to use their minds, they are being swayed by it. And what is interesting is the very similar terms find their way in the detention order.
Yeah.
It means that are these IT trollers and the DSP and the government and all of them working together just to frame a person who has been for the last 30 years to 40 years working at the grassroots level for India, earning laurels for India, making India proud on international forums. So I gave you just one example about that referendum, but the whole detention order is full of such frivolous, you know,
Yeah.
allegations, which
I
are
was
just words
also
taken out of context.
reading, going through your timeline, Twitter timeline, in which you have also mentioned that in the detention order, the words like Arab Spring and Nepal Generation Z protests have also been mentioned.
Yes. So Sonam is a teacher, okay, ever
Hmm.
since in all the matters, he does Saturday a program called Achun Instam, which is Bade Bhai ki Man ki Baat, okay,
Hmm.
in which he teaches the youth about various contemporary issues that are going on and how to think about it. And it is as a teacher, he brings in history, he brings in examples, and so this Arab Spring comes in a video where
Hmm.
he is saying that last year, that looks like the government is not going to give us sixth schedule. This is what I hear. Okay. But we are going to keep challenging it. And
Hmm.
you may wonder how one person can challenge and change the situation. So look at this example of Arab Spring, where one person who was just a vegetable seller, you know, he changed the scene, not in one country, but six countries. And that was the context in which Arab Spring was brought in. And he hurriedly follows it up by saying that, but is that the way that we
Hmm.
do? No.
Hmm.
Self
Hmm.
immolation is not the way, he says.
Hmm.
Our way is different. It is not through Arab Spring way. We will do through peaceful protest. That
Hmm.
is what
Hmm.
we've always been following, because in a democracy, it is dialogue and discussion. So they have conveniently taken out the context in which it was being said. They have conveniently removed how he brings it to a closure. And they've just taken this example, Arab Spring, out of context, and they are alleged that he wants to bring an Arab Spring kind of a revolution. He's, asking the Ladakhis to self-immolate. He has said on many occasions that sometimes lives have to be given for a revolution. And if
Absolutely.
one life that can change it, let it be my life, He has never
Hmm.
instigated the youth to take their lives. So such are the allegations in the detention order, which we will be definitely putting our best foot forward and fighting them because
Absolutely.
they are not true. And somebody like Sonam does not even deserve or qualify to be under NSA, which is a act for smugglers and terrorists. And
Yes, tomorrow.
you are
Tomorrow
equating
you.
him with.
Yes, tomorrow is the date in the Supreme Court, and I believe the center will be responding. So, what are your expectations from the hearing, ma'am, for tomorrow?
I would not like to talk about it. I will talk to you
Yes.
maybe
Okay.
after tomorrow because the
Okay.
matter
Okay.
is sub judice. So,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
we have absolute trust in
Hmm.
goodness of people, in the
Hmm.
conscience of the judges, in the constitution, in the judiciary, in the people of India, in the media. We
Hmm.
are very, very thankful to everybody who's rallying behind us, who's extending our support, because any person, with a conscience and with a bit of common sense, will know that this is an open and shut case. That Sonam is not a threat to national security or to any public order. He's
Hmm.
the one
Hmm.
who brings order into this chaos. He's the one who brings all kinds of security in the
Yeah.
region of Ladakh, be it security of glaciers, security of people, and security of education. In his speeches, he talks about shiksha, and education as being the main cornerstone of any development.
Last week, ma'am, internet was restored in Leh Ladakh. So, what are the reports that are reaching you? What kind of situation is there right now? Because there were talks, back-end talks, which were going on between the Ladakh administration and civil society. There were pictures also tweeted in which Leh Apex Body and Kargil Democratic Alliance leaders can be seen with the Lieutenant Governor, after which the internet was restored.
Yes, so first of all, internet should not have been suspended because I
Hmm.
remember that when allegations were being made about Sonam, about Hayal unilaterally, by the UT administration, there was we were silenced by not having internet given to us so that we could not respond to media and put
Hmm.
out our side of the story. Plus, there was
Hmm.
CRPF outside our campus, and no media was being allowed to come in. So, internet is a right of freedom, you know,
Hmm.
of the
Hmm. Hmm.
people. So, if it has been restored, it is good, but it is a very small step still because many of the youth who have been taken into custody are still waiting
To
to
be
be
released.
out.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
several of them are our own staff
Oh,
who
acha.
they thought were close. Yes, yes. So who they
Hmm.
thought were close to Sonam and
Mr.
me,
Wangchuk.
they have,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, they have not been just taken. They were also, physically and mentally tortured. And
Absolutely.
it takes internet restoration is just the beginning. A lot has to be done to restore peace, restore trust,
Yes,
you
which
know,
has been broken. Yeah.
restore justice.
The
Yes.
Lay Apex Body, ma'am, and the Kargil Democratic Alliance have paused their talks with Center, and they say the talks will not resume till the time Mr. Wangchuk is not released. What do you say matlab, how does the dialogue process between the leaders and the center, moves forward in such a situation?
So the LBA and the Apex Body have been the voice for, the sixth schedule, and Sonam
Hmm.
was their representative.
Hmm.
And so today, Ladakh, Apex Body, and KDA all stand in solidarity, okay,
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
restoration of normalcy because talks, they say, cannot happen under
Hmm.
gunpoint. So they
Yes.
have these unconditional demands that Sonam should be released,
Hmm.
unconditionally. That there has to be an inquiry why CRPF opened fire and took four innocent lives because they were
Hmm.
not dealing with terrorists, they were dealing with youth. And till all these people who have been taken in custody are asked to be are released. So all of this till normalcy is restored, everybody stands together that they would not resume talks because you cannot have talks under
And yeah,
unjust
under the gun. Yeah.
and gunpoint. Yeah.
Yes. Ma'am, protests in Ladakh have also drawn national and international attention also. What misconceptions about the movement would you like to clarify for those outside the region, Because there have been lot of misconceptions as far as your organization is also concerned, as far as Mr. Wangchuk is also concerned.
So there are misconceptions about Hayal. So I'll quickly tell you what are the
Yeah.
misconceptions. So first of all, Hayal has not. So the CBI that came, it came with a paper that Hayal has violated FCRA because we have
Hmm.
got funds into the account from outside without having an FCRA registration. So first of all, we had applied for FCRA registration, but they arm twisted us that till if Sonam is doing Anshan, we will not give you FCRA. So Sonam decided not to get take FCRA, okay, but he
Hmm.
did not
Hmm.
want to not work for constitutional democratic rights, as
Hmm.
statehood and sixth schedule. The
Hmm.
second was when they came saying that you have FCRA violation, we clarified to them that these funds that have come are not donations. You only need FCRA for donations. You do not need it when you export your
Hmm.
services. And
Hmm.
these were research services that Hayal gave to very prestigious organizations like United Nations Development Program, okay, like Swiss Development Corporation, FHNW, a Swiss university. So it's a matter of pride and not of shame that foreign bodies and universities want to pay for your research. Okay, so we clearly shared with them our agreements of export of services, the invoices that we've raised, and these are duly documented and presented to the government of India through our annual returns, which we file every year. So the
Okay.
CBI could not find anything. Okay. So that
Hmm.
is one misconception about Hayal. The second is that we did not sign a lease within 1 year of the land given to us. That also we have clarified that we did write to them several letters to file the lease, to sign the lease. But even as we speak, as of yesterday, the lease policy has not been drafted. So we got from them response that it is not just your organization, but also several others, including government organizations, in whose case lease has not been signed. So we give you a no objection certificate. You can continue construction activities.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So
Hmm.
yes. So there is no case of they taking away the land. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is the
As has been
second.
reported. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So it
Hmm.
is not that we did not sign it. They don't have a policy yet. So they don't know how
Hmm.
much of premium they should charge and they don't have institutional category. Now,
Hmm. Hmm.
regarding Sonam, we have already debunked his character assassination as per ISI agent of Pakistan, of a Chinese agent, and now this funding. So there is no Soros funding. Okay. Soros owns Open Society Foundation, which holds 0.05%, okay, uh, funding, which has given to Dan Church Aid.
Hmm.
Dan Church Aid is a European organization which has several other funders like USAID and European Union and all of that, of which Soros's Open Society Foundation is one of the, people who donors, and it holds less than 0.05%. And it is Dan Church Aid that, through our proper FCRA regulation, when we of SecMol, this funds came about 15 years ago
Hmm.
for food sovereignty project, which was making of greenhouses and teaching the kids how to grow their own food. So all that is documented. So there is
Hmm.
no any FCRA violation neither by SecMol, where this came for food sovereignty, and nor for Hayal, where it was export of services. So all these were smoke screens they started creating 1 year ago because they wanted to frame Sonam, silence him. And when they saw that we are not scared of it, we are not getting arm twisted, we are okay with UGC holding our application. The education minister himself told me, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, that till your Sonam is doing Anshan, your file will be kept on hold. We will not give you UGC. He told me in 1 to 1 when I met him. You know,
When was
so
this?
when we were not scared, it was in November last year.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
So all this kind of arm twisting and blackmailing has been happening. But when they saw that we are not scared of it, they even pressurized the PSUs who were giving us CSR funds not to support us. We got calls from seniors of these PSUs that from Home Ministry, the calls came, and even those CSRs for which MOUs had been signed, they were asked not to release the next tranche and the next tranche and so on.
mm,
So all of this, they tried their best and then they could not succeed because we are absolutely above board. All our papers, all our accounts is completely transparent. Okay. And so when the CBI came, at that time, a lot of IT scrutiny, income tax, and summons were happening. So they did not find any problems or issues with our accounts or our finances. So the only option that was left to them was this NSA, and they
mm,
thought that they will just take Sonam and like they have done, like GD Agarwal ji, who went on an unction for 111 days, right? Who was
mm,
fighting for Ganga cleaning, Andolan. He was again reminding the same government that you had promised that you will clean Ganga and you're not doing it. Just that they
mm.
had promised many other things which they were not doing it. So they thought, and GD Agarwalji was not ordinary person. He was one of the greatest scientists. He was an environmentalist. He was an intellectual. So they thought that the same thing they can do and get away with Sonam as well, you know. But they did not expect the backlash that they are facing now. So they will very soon realize that this is the darkest chapter of Ladakh, of their rule, and history will not forget it. And the strategic error that they have made and the way this has misfired, will haunt them forever.
People here in Delhi also and BJP also has been alleging that the entire protest was orchestrated. In fact, Congress was the one which was, instigating it. And the minute Mr. Kapil Sibal and Mr. Tankha represented you, they again started tweeting about it. Would you like to clarify on this account also?
So I have always maintained that Sonam
Hmm.
and I have always been apolitical. Okay.
Hmm.
Over in the last two MP elections, every political party approached him to field him as their candidate.
Candidate. Hmm.
And he denied and declined all of them. He says, I'm not a politician, I'm a teacher and an innovator. So, first of all, we, in a way, align with truth and we align with the nation's best interests, okay?
Hmm.
And we
Hmm.
support any party, as should be in a democracy. We support any party that is working in the best interests of the country, okay? Now, the decision to take a particular person to represent you is solely on merit. That person can align with this or that party is their prerogative, and we respect it. And
Hmm.
similarly, Sonam has clarified that Congress in Ladakh does not have so much power that they can even bring 100 youth. Okay, he has said in one of his videos. So they could not have brought this 4,000 youth together. And nobody had instigated it. Nobody. If at all, it is CRPF who shot people and that aggravated the whole situation. Okay. The youth were frustrated because this peaceful path was not getting them anywhere. There was unemployment, 26,000 jobs which were promised had not been given in the last 5 years. Okay, sixth schedule for 5 years. Padyatras have happened, unshans have happened, talks keep happening, but not on this aspect. Okay, and talks keep failing. So youth were frustrated, but even then, they did not plan to do this. They went for a peaceful protest.
Hmm.
But it is the way that security was handled, the tear gas. And if you see the videos, you will see the sequence of events, the way it happened. The
Hmm.
tear gas, which was first opened fire, was that which irked them, the youth. And that's when the peaceful protest turned into stone pelting and all of that. And then, then shooting happened and then setting up on fire happened and it just escalated. And Sonam was in another park and he wasn't even aware this is how it will become, because the moment he heard that this was escalating, he immediately called off the fast. He said
Hmm.
that my method of peaceful protest has failed, and if this is what my fast is doing to the youth, and if it is harming them, then I call off my fast. So he put the safety of the youth above himself and the result that he was expecting of the fast. And in that video, we can hear gunshots when he is standing his ground and telling people that I'm foregoing this fast. So to blame it on Sonam and the youth that they instigated is absolutely false. If at all, people who have to be answerable is the government, then who gave them the right and the order to shoot? That too in the head and the heart. You could have shot them at the legs, even if you had to, shoot. And so they have to be answerable that why such a peaceful place like Ladakh, where the youth are absolutely peace loving and compassionate, they were in many videos seen looking after the CRPF who were injured. So, such youth, why could you not contain them? It is the failure of the government, it's the failure of the police of Ladakh that they
Hmm.
could not contain one small peaceful protest. So,
Hmm.
they have to answer. And this is what Sonam's demand is from the jail, that a probe has to be done. And
Judicial probe. Yeah.
yeah, and a KDA and Apex Body and Ladakh, they together stand in solidarity. They have called off the talks because talks, as we said, cannot happen on gunpoint. So they have said that till Sonam is unconditionally released, till there is an inquiry on the death of these four innocent lives, till normalcy is restored in Ladakh, and everybody who has been taken into custody is released, there will not be any further talks in this direction.
Yeah. Ma'am,
And
I also read
that's where it stands now.
one of your statements in which you said that you were being hounded in Ladakh and that is why you decided to come to Delhi. Can you explain
Yes.
what was being done? I mean, because the kind of statements we were also hearing from the Lieutenant Governor of Ladakh and even the DG himself.
Yes. So as I told you, we thought that because there's a curfew, there is this CRPF outside of Hayal. But then I
Hmm.
got calls from BBC and ANI, a lot of those media people who wanted to come and take our side of the story. They were being stopped and not allowed to meet us. And
Hmm.
I had to, and there was no internet, so I could not do Zoom calls with the media. So I had to get out and, tell people our side of the story.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I so I had to really, in a way, smuggle myself out of Leh.
Can you describe how did you manage that?
Yeah, and then when they saw that I have left, the from the next day onwards, the entire CRPF was de-escalated from outside our institute. You know,
Hmm.
and then ever since I'm in Delhi, and I went for the press conference, there's a car that is following me around everywhere. And the same happens when I go to Jodhpur to meet. I have gone there twice to meet Sonam on 7th and day before yesterday. From the time I land at the airport, there is this police and IB who takes me in their van,
Vehicle. Hmm. Hmm.
with screens on either side, because they say that we don't want you to meet media. So I'm taken in and they are always there. And even when I'm talking to Sonam, they are sitting next to me, you know,
Acha.
and
Oh,
everything
okay.
that And whatever I am noting down while talking to Sonam, afterwards they're taking pictures of that, you know. So there is no, and then I have to go to the Supreme Court to get the detention order. It is not being given to me. Now, day before yesterday, when I met Sonam, so
Hmm.
he has to reply to the detention order, right? The legal team can help legally, but the facts he has to give. So he had written down in about, a few pages, the facts to defend his detention order. So I was not given that. I was refused. He wanted that to be photocopied and given to me. They did not give me. So there is no legal assistance. He does not. And if for me, and every time I cannot take a lawyer with me, They are not free. So there has to be, this provision to take
Mm.
documents from him or whatever he has to say. So it is not happening. So it's quite a strange way. And then our staff are being taken into custody and their
Mm.
phones are being taken away. They are, all kinds of questions are happening without any evidence of anything that we have violated financially, legally, you know, um, in any way. So it is just to, we all know by now, it is just to silence the voice that is Sonam, so that for some reason the government does not want to give sixth schedule and legislature statehood because we are told that there are a lot of economic interests at stake. Ladakh is known to have mines for these rare earth metals, okay, which they want to maybe mine. Or we know now in Bihar and other places, they are giving like thousands of acres of land for 1 rupee or something. Maybe that's what they have in mind. That is why they haven't made the lease policy for 5 years because gigawatts of power are planning to be set up there. So maybe they just want to give away that land. But they must know that Sonam is not anti development. When we came to know that they are setting up gigawatts of power, he did a prototype of how you can set up the prototypes, the photovoltaic, so that you can grow fodder, so that you don't displace the herders, but instead co-opt them by giving them the fodder under those photovoltaics. And they have liked this and they want to use it in the upcoming projects. So they can co-opt Hayal and him, to help them do sustainable development. So he's not anti-development. He just wants conscious development. He doesn't want destruction to go hand in hand with development as it has been. He does not want that the place be opened up for anybody to come and misuse it. So
Yes.
that is why
So,
he's fighting for it, and he is representing every Ladakhi and the apex boy who are all on the same page together, you know, fighting
and
for
now,
this.
and now all eyes are on Supreme Court. The matter is listed for Tuesday, that is October 14th. All the best, ma'am, for hearing tomorrow, and hopefully we'll speak after that also, and we'll hear some good news. Thank you so much for speaking to Indian Express.